on this week's episode of RamZ's Hoosier Pond.
My name is Rick. Today I brought in an ivory lamp, so I'm going to talk to Randy about trading my lamp for the $140 I have on my layaway item.
Isn't that Dad's wedding ring? You better put that back.
Would you consider $700?
Would you go $700 and a store credit of maybe $100?
Something they could spend more money on.
Yes.
Do you know who is the single season rushing record right now?
I'm not sure offhand.
I believe it's Eric Dickerson.
Is it? Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
No
so what
way.
if I get some like Windex?
This is Randy Ramsey, and this is his pawn store. He works here with his wife Melanie, sons Corey and Chad, and daughter Amanda. Many items here have a unique story. And after 25 years in the business, he's learned that you never know what's coming through the door next. This is RamZ's Hoosier Pond.
Guess what we just got in, Corey?
I have no idea. Is it a big bubble maker?
No.
Sort of looks like something maybe from Sherlock Holmes.
It's pretty close. Look at this.
Oh man. What is on the base of that thing?
That is actually an elephant.
Oh, I'm used to seeing those guys' heads, like, you know.
They make a lot of these, and it's made out of meerschaum.
Yeah.
You know what meerschaum is, or have you ever heard of that?
I mean, I've heard of meerschaum, but I don't know exactly what it is.
Well, it's found in various areas, but on the Black Sea, they have foam that it's a mineral that floats, and they make it out of there, and it solidifies as they dry it out, and they make it and carve it into just all different kinds of designs.
You normally see the guys with the big beards and, you know.
They have men, and they have animals, and they have other designs. They have all different lengths. This particular one also came with a nice stand.
I don't think we've ever had one in with a nice stand like that.
So it's a pretty impressive piece.
Yeah, the old store, didn't we have one that came in that had like 4 or 5 in one case?
It had a little black suitcase. And
yeah,
you
opened up. I remember that, yeah.
And the actual piece that you would put in your mouth, I doubt if this is made out of tortoiseshell, but it has that tortoiseshell look to it. That's just one of the unique things that comes in.
Yeah.
Today I brought in an ivory lamp, so I'm going to talk to Randy about trading my lamp for the $140 I have on my layaway item.
Well,
hey,
hi,
how's
Rick.
it going?
Good to
How
see
are
you.
you? Nice to see you today.
Good to see you again.
Thank you very much.
What did you come along with today?
I got something pretty neat.
You're always bringing unusual items in.
That's the way I like them. This is an ivory lamp made in India.
Nice. What's on there?
Well, the decoration is symbolic and has a purpose for this particular lamp, the way it's laid out. On this side is the Taj Mahal.
Oh, I thought that's what it was.
And this side is the person that's buried in the Taj Mahal, because the Taj Mahal was a mausoleum. This is Mumtaz Mahal, and she was the wife of the builder of the Taj, which was Shah Jahan.
Okay.
So Shah Jahan actually had 3 wives. Mumtaz was his favorite wife of the 3 wives, and it became quite a love story in India. Even the poets of the era wrote poems, and there's literature about how beautiful she was, and so she was obviously the very favorite. Unfortunately, she died giving childbirth at another location. So Shah Jahan drained the coffers of Mughal India, and took 30 years to build the Taj Mahal as a mausoleum for his favorite wife.
Wow.
Mumtaz Mahal died while giving birth to their 14th child. So even today, young Indians who are trying to conceive will take blankets with them and lay out under the stars on the property of the Taj Mahal. Huh. And that's why it happens to be a night scene, I'm sure.
Huh.
Right.
And it also has an elephant on top.
Yeah, it does, and that's pretty universal symbol in India.
Yeah, and the trunk up is for good
Trunk
luck.
up, good luck.
Yeah.
There's other symbolic things around here too, like the portrait of Mumtaz Mahal is sitting on a lotus throne. And the lotus throne is a device used more in Buddhist and Indian decor, I mean modern day India, the Hindu religion, than it was in the Mughal or Islamic tradition. Okay. What it symbolizes is purity, it symbolizes enlightenment. The actual thought behind it is that a lotus blossom will bloom, drop its seed to the bottom of the pond, where it's black, mucky, dark, but send a shoot up. And after time, reaches the surface and blooms into a beautiful white flower. And that is achieving nirvana, enlightenment.
Now, this is a night light, or?
Well, I think, I would call it, and that's one of the reasons why I think it's from the late 60s, early 70s. One is by the wiring, and the other is the light really has no function other than to glow.
Okay.
Kind of a little bit like maybe the lights that they had in the late 60s and early 70s. I would call them a mood light.
If a light shines through ivory, it's kind of pinkish colored, isn't it?
You're absolutely right. Orangey, pinky color, and that's one of the ways that you can tell ivory. Because if this were plastic and it was white, plastic, it would show white.
I heard that the heat applied to ivory also kind of smells like burning hair,
Yes.
as opposed to
It actually
a
does,
plastic.
but again, I wouldn't
No, you,
I wouldn't compromise an item by
Right.
sticking something hot on it and see if I could smell hair burning,
Right.
Right.
That'd probably be the hair burning on top of my head.
but normally you can tell the difference between
Don't have any.
between bone and ivory. A bone would have porosity, little speckles here and there, whereas this you can actually see some of the cross hatching.
Yes.
You've come today, did you come to sell or get a loan, or what are you thinking about?
What I'm thinking is, I have a layaway,
Okay.
and to get that layaway out, I would like to more or less trade this item for my layaway.
That's the, Indian artifact?
Yeah, it's an
Yeah.
Indian artifact, and I believe I owe $140 on it.
Okay, well, we can check that out.
And
I can run it.
so that's what I'd like for this lamp.
Is that okay as long as we're at the 140? I can just go ahead and get him written up, and we can do the trade slip as well as get his layaway out. Is that all right?
That sounds fair.
All right, great. We'll go
Thanks,
check it
Andy.
out.
Thanks so much.
All right.
I did get my items that I wanted out of his layaway, and as always, it's a pleasure to work with Randy and Corey and the whole team here, and I definitely will be back.
Coming up next,
I pulled some items off my dad's desk. Let's head over to Chad and see what I can get on a loan.
Remember when we started Ramsey Exchange on Elmwood Avenue in 1988 with a little jewelry, coins, antiques, and collectibles?
Yes, and people had such needs for borrowing money, so we became the county's first licensed pawn shop so we could help.
Then we moved everything 20 years later to North Fairby Drive, doubling our space and renaming it RamZ's Emporium.
And we still care about people and their needs, giving as many loans as we can on items of value.
Get help from the caring people at RamZ's Emporium.
Did you know that we do loans on items of worth here at RamZ's Emporium? Well, we're going to do a mock loan so you can get an idea how things work here. You always see on those TV shows where they say, hey, let's get things written up, but you never know exactly how that takes place. I pulled some items off my dad's desk. Let's head over to Chad and see what I can get on a loan.
Hey, Corey.
I thought I'd bring some items off of Dad's desk to see what I could get a loan on for these.
Okay.
Just so we can show people how this is done.
Sure. Well, it looks like you got a couple bracelets and a couple rings here. First of all, we need to determine what the carat is, whether they're 10 or 14 karat or 18 karat gold, and that'll help us to know what to value them at. So I'm going to look at it with my jeweler's loop, and looks like this one's a 14 karat. 14 karat. I don't see a mark on this one. I might have to test that one. We usually do an acid test where we put a little mark on the inside of the ring. It's usually very small. Some places have machines that they test them with, and some places have where they rub on a stone.
Right.
We use an acid test typically, and I can do that very quickly. All right, so this is the ring I'm going to test, and I'm going to put a little scratch on the inside, a little mark it, and then we're going to put a drop of acid. The acid will test differently depending on the metal. It typically will bubble green if it's not real gold at all. 14 karat, it usually, there's no difference in coloration.
It stays shiny.
Yep, and 10 karat will turn brown. Yep. This one didn't move at all, so it must be 14 karat. And usually we would ask how much you're hoping to get. Typically when we give loans, we like the customer to let us know what they're hoping to come up with. Usually that's helpful for us and them. We don't recommend people get as much as they can because that makes it harder to get it back. So we usually recommend that
because
they get
the percentage rate.
Yes, correct. The percentage rate is 23% typically for anywhere you go.
That's in Indiana.
In Indiana,
it changes
yes.
from place to
That's
place
right.
too.
Yep. Some states do things a lot differently. So we would, I would typically ask you, how much are you hoping to come up with?
Right, and I would say, let's say $200.
Okay, well, let me weigh them up and see if we can do that for you. We're all 14 karat, and we'll weigh them all up together. Yeah, there's plenty enough to give that amount, so I would actually not need that much. Let's say we just get rid of the 2 rings there. Yeah, we could probably either use these 2 bracelets or even one of the rings and one of the bracelets to do a $200 loan.
And then on the $200 loan, for instance, you're saying 23%, so I would owe, after 1 month, how much would I owe?
You'd owe $246 to come back and pick it up within 30 days.
And then if I go over the extra, if I do a month and I haven't paid anything, what do I owe?
It's another $46 every month that it stays
and how
in here.
long, if I don't make payments, does it end up being? Or if I don't make, let's start that over.
Start that question.
Sorry. If I don't make any payments, how long does it stay in before you guys take it?
Every place should be the same in town as well as out of town. In Indiana, the rules are that we have to hold on to the item for 90 days. After 90 days are up, we claim the item, it becomes ours, and we put it out for sale. If at any time between now and 90 days you make one payment, it extends it another 30 days, and you can do that for as long as you want. So you can keep paying on the item, and it'll never leave. It'll never become ours.
But to pay the least, I just need to pick it up in a month or less, and I'm just paying the one payment then.
Also, what a lot of people are concerned about is what happens to their items after they've pawned them. Usually, with jewelry pieces, we bag them up, we put them in a safe, and they're kept. They're actually no items that we pawn become our items until they've gone past their maturity date or their due date. As a matter of fact, they're not our items to do anything with, so they all sit in the back, and nobody handles them or touches them, and they stay safe back there.
Yeah, the other thing too is if they lose their ticket, they want to make sure and call us because anybody that has that ticket can come claim it using the ticket. That's another thing that people don't know.
Yep. Well, I'm going to print off a ticket for you just to show you what they look like.
Okay, great.
So this is what a ticket would look like for our store. We would have the ticket item information would be over here that we tear this off and put that on the item.
And the numbers up here in the corner.
Yeah, numbers and the person's name. Yep. And then we also have the person's information wrote out here, along with their ID number, their information. We have to have a valid ID before we can give a loan. The person has to be 18 years old.
We also have to do the thumbprint on the back. The thumbprint and the signature and the driver's license, those are all laws, a requirement by law.
Yeah.
And the only reason this stuff would be used anywhere else but here would be for the purposes of stolen merchandise. And we actually do all these procedures to deter people from stealing items in our local area. I think that's one major thing that we really, even though it's a lot of work to get it done, it really deters people from bringing it in.
Right, yes. Let me show you how you do the thumbprint. You can do that for me, and you need to stamp your thumb there on that pad and right on that sticker. You can see it's a liquid.
It's non-ink.
Yeah.
Doesn't leave anything on your thumb. But
shows
when
up
you
right on
touch
the
down,
ticket.
it shows up dark.
So a lot of people say, well, why do I have to do that? And well, we don't do anything with the thumbprint. Again, that's just there for the Indiana state laws require that we have thumbprints on items that we purchase and take in on loan. So that's important for us to have on there. This is where I would initial it. Corey, you would sign it there.
Yeah, the customer has to
Customer
sign on
would
the
sign
red.
it there, and then we, some places do it differently, but we give the white copy, and typically what I would tell people is this is your ticket. You need to bring this back when you come to pick it up. It's an extra $5 without it, so don't lose it. This is your maturity date. It's the 30 days from today's date, and then down here, this is your final due date. This is your 90 days.
That's when it would get pulled if I hadn't
yeah,
paid on anything.
If you don't pay anything, yes. And your amount that we gave you and the finance charges are all here. Again, you know, if we gave you $100, it would show that you owed $23 back plus that $100 when you came to pick it up within 30 days, which is this maturity date.
Right, but it is really beneficial, this loaning process, because if you hit a patch where you need a little bit extra cash, or you've got some kind of great thing you want to accomplish, you want to go on a vacation, you want to whatever, and your paycheck doesn't cover it, you can come in here and get a loan, and then when you get your next check or your paycheck or your tax check comes in or whatever it might be comes.
There's so many people that come in and are thankful that we have this, that we can help them with this, because a lot of people just need short-term loans. They just need a little bit of money to get them by for the next check or until they get their tax return or whatever it is, and they don't have any other options. And there are some other places that you can borrow money from that are so much higher rates that they really appreciate being able to come in here and help us help them out, knowing that their item is going to be safe and secure in our store.
Yep. Well, hopefully that'll answer a lot of people's questions. If they decide that they need some cash at some point, they'll maybe not feel as uncomfortable about coming in just to get something.
I hope it helps too.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Richard. I came into RamZ's recently to look to see if I could possibly get a loan. I brought in a few of my items, wanting to get them back. I talked to Corey to find out what my options are. Corey did talk to me about the different ideas and ways of doing this, that asked me what is the least amount that I can get by with as far as my cash loan. So I got the bare minimum that I really needed to get by, and that made my payments lower, and so I could get my items back. I did come back in here recently and picked up my items. They were, back in storage, no problem at all. They went right back and got them. I kind of glanced at my items once I got them back, and they were exactly the way I brought them in. So I would come back in here, tomorrow, a week from now, a month from now. If I ever need some more cash, bring some more items in. And I've got full confidence that Corey or any other of the employees here that can help me out and take care of me and get me on my way.
Coming up next on RamZ's Hoosier Pawn. This is Randy Ramsey, and this is RamZ's Emporium. He works here with his sons Corey and Chad. You never know what's coming through the door next.
A Native American transformation mask.
Authenticated Jim Brown and Walter Payton autographed football.
Taylor Model A10.
If you're looking for one-of-a-kind items, go to RamZ's on North Farabee Drive, Lafayette.
You never know what's going to come into RamZ's next.
What came in this time, Dad?
Well, believe it or not, this is an Emmett Kelly Jr. figurine. But Emmett Kelly himself, his father, lived in the Lafayette area and actually was buried here.
Wow.
A few years ago, I had a local restaurant owner who said that Emmett Kelly Sr. used to come in and eat there. And he brought in a doll that Emmett Kelly had given to him. We have several Emmett Kelly Jr. figurines right now, but the thing that's interesting about this particular piece is on the bottom, he actually signed it. So it's
and
not
that definitely makes it worth more.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have several pieces that are signed and dated by Emmett Kelly Jr. I think we have 10 or 15 items that are all Emmett Kelly or an Emmett Kelly Jr. item.
So, Dad, did we buy that doll?
We did, and we sold it soon after that. As a matter of fact, we have a number of clown-related items, not only paintings, but figurines. So if someone has an interest in clowns, come in and clown around with us.
Hi, I'm Larry. I brought in a large fossil fish to show to Randy today, and I'm hoping to get around $1,200 out of it. We'll see how it goes.
Well, hi, Larry. Hi, Janie.
Hi, guys.
Good to see you guys again. We've enjoyed every year you come and paint our windows for Christmas and do our advertising on our windows and do a great job for us.
If you could just do them in the summer so we didn't have to freeze out there.
Yeah.
We've had a few cold days with that.
Yes, we have.
You also have some expertise in Civil War related things and fossils and so forth. I see you brought one with you today.
Yeah, I brought you a big fish. I know how much you like big fossils. So
Yes, well,
brought that in for you.
you don't see them this large hardly
often.
ever.
And that, not only that, this is a rare fish too. This came out of the Amazon.
Yeah, I was going to ask, do you know what type of fish it is?
You know, it's. I'm going to have to pull the paper out and read the name because it's one of those long. But they're related to the arowana, is still around, the living fish. But they're a Cladocyclus gardenieri, and they were 90 to 108 million years ago in the Cretaceous period. This was found in northeastern Brazil.
Oh, in Brazil.
I've had it 15 years. And
I think we bought a fish that wasn't even half this size from you before that was almost a museum quality.
yeah, it came out of Utah, but this is museum quality too. These are
Right.
very rare, and I would say if you even got on the internet and searched, you'd be hard put to find one. That's how few.
What length do you think this is?
I'm going to say it's probably, about 30, 32 inches,
Okay.
somewhere around in there.
Very
I
good.
didn't measure it, but
It's interesting. You can even see some of the scale design in some of the bones.
right in here you can see the backbone, and then
Yeah.
and then the scales, and then even the little.
The fin?
Yeah, it's a really, even the eye, how it's preserved
Very
there. But,
detailed.
yeah, I've had it a long time, and we just have some things that we want to do, and it takes up a lot of space in display cabinet. And
I know you've bought some unusual things from even museums before.
yes, we have, and sold to museums also.
And we bought a few very interesting items from you over the years.
Yeah, and you've sold me some.
This particular piece, is this something you're thinking about selling, or are you
I think
thinking
so.
about getting a loan on?
I think selling it.
Okay. Well, what do you think it's worth?
I think it's worth probably $1,400 to $1,600.
Okay.
And I would like to get about 12.
About 12?
Yeah.
I guess, and it sounds fair to me, the biggest problem is just the marketing of this is going to take a person that either has the capability of encasing it so they can hang it, or some kind of a display cabinet, or even a college or some place that can do justice with it and have that kind of capital to spend on it. Would you consider taking any lower?
Sure. I understand, you're going to have to own it for a while to find a buyer, so make me an offer. What do you think?
Would you consider 700?
Would you go 700 and a store credit of maybe $100?
Something they could spend more money on.
Yes.
I always spend more than 100, so you'll come out ahead on that.
I just think it's such an unusual piece, and like you said, and I realize you just don't find them this large. I think I would be happy to try that out and see if we could get that marketed.
Great. I don't think you'll be sorry. This is a really, really unusual, rare piece.
Okay.
And a good quality one.
Okay.
All right, Randy. Thank you.
Thank you. Good to have you guys come in.
All right.
Good to see both
Always
of you.
a pleasure to be here.
I'll have Amanda get your information and do a paid out and get her a credit slip written up for you.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Coming up next on Ramsey's Hoosier Pond. This is Randy Ramsey, and this is RamZ's Emporium. He works here with his wife Melanie and his daughter Amanda. You never know what's coming through the door next.
Turn of the century 14 karat white gold filigree diamond and sapphire bracelet.
A lady's antique bracelet with rose-cut diamonds.
A beautiful freshwater pearl necklace.
If you're looking for one-of-a-kind items, go to RamZ's on North Farabee Drive in Lafayette.
Hey, Joe, how's it going?
Corey, what's happening?
Where's your wife at?
Well, she made me bring this in, but
Oh,
I want
yeah?
to bring this in. How's it going, baby?
Oh, it's all right.
I just want to talk about this one for a second. This
Okay.
is From 2001, I was actually on the field for Monday Night Football. The Green Bay Packers were playing the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Oh, nice.
Eric Dickerson was broadcasting for ABC.
Okay.
So I saw him on the field, and I basically spent the entire game following him around because I wanted
All right.
to sign.
Little
I'm from Indiana.
stalker action.
Yeah, exactly. So finally, after 4 or 5 attempts, Eric said, "Okay, man, come over here. I'll sign it." I'm like,
All right.
cool, yeah. But it was Monday Night Football, so before the game, we got to meet Dennis Miller.
Oh, nice.
John Travolta and Samuel L. Jackson were filming boot camp that
That's
week.
Very cool.
Halftime, Evander
Yeah.
Holyfield walks down to the field, shakes hands with him.
Wow,
Fred
that's a
Durst. It
lucky
was like,
day.
Yeah, it was Monday Night Football. It was
That's
like,
awesome.
I know some of those
It's just
people
Yeah.
because they're not football people.
Right.
But
Right.
there's all kinds of people at that game. So I was just going to bring this in and see what you guys thought it was
Okay.
worth. And
Alrighty.
let me know.
And so it's something you had personally signed, no authentication or anything like
no,
that? Okay.
I was actually
All
on
right.
the field because I
Right.
was. Yeah.
Any pictures of you having it signed? Like anybody snap a shot while you were getting it done?
You
Or
know, I may have something,
Okay.
but I didn't bring it with me.
Sometimes that will help with the sale of things. I may need to do a little bit of looking just to see sort of where they're going right now. But I've had some Eric Dickerson stuff in before, but normally it's been like 8x10s. Mini helmets are a step up from that usually, or sometimes close. But anyway, I can do some looking on that.
Well, do you know who is the single season rushing record right now?
I'm not sure
I
offhand.
believe it's Eric Dickerson.
Is it?
Yes.
Did you know that?
7
I
Pro Bowl
didn't know that.
appearances.
No
So what if I
way.
get some like Windex and I just
No. He was
You
the
might-
first NFL running back to break 10,000 yards in only 91 games.
Nice. You might have the rushing record if you did that because you'd be chasing you around the store.
Yes. But yeah, last year was Adrian Peterson.
Yeah, right.
He called Eric
That's right.
Dickerson and said, "I'm going to break your record." And he
Right.
came up 40 yards.
Yeah,
short.
it was really
Wow.
close. I remember that now. Yes. And what did your wife have you bring in?
Well, the wife was saying, if you're going to go in there and do that, will you at least get these looked
Katie's
at?
like,
These are-
we
Bring
hear
it
that
in.
all the time.
Bring it in.
That's right.
So we've
You're
got these
coming in.
Tiffany
Okay, very
candlestick
cool.
holders.
Yeah, we do a little bit more with the Tiffany jewelry, and we get the bracelets and rings, and we've had
We have
pens.
yeah, silver. I think it was sterling
trying to think
silver
what
pen.
else. We've had a couple other unusual items in, but yeah, we have had some of these candlesticks. We still would be interested in buying them, and it also helps that you've got the original
Definitely.
box. That definitely helps some. The only thing that would be a little bit tough for us right now is we are running sales on glassware just because
Yeah.
we have a ton of it. But I still would do some checking because of the name brand on it.
great.
It would help
That's
us there. So if you don't mind, I'll step away, do a little bit of checking, and I'll be right back.
Sounds
All
good.
right.
Thanks.
Yep.
On next week's episode of RamZ's Hoosier Pawn.
That you may want to hold on just because of how much effort you put into getting it. Right now, I've got actually a couple mini helmets over there with Peyton Manning on it, which seems to go pretty well in our area. My guess is probably where it would stand. I would probably want to be about.
Oh yeah, got a NASCAR collection here.
Okay. So you have a bunch more out in the car?
I got 9 containers.
Oh my
9 total
goodness.
containers.
You want me to send some people out to get it all?
If you would please, I
All
appreciate
right.
the help.
We'll definitely take a look at it. All right. We'll get
Okay.
some people lined up.
Okay.